Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Anthony versus Peugeot.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Anthony, you claim you had a short-term relationship with the defendant, Mr. Peugeot, who was initially excited when you told him you were pregnant. But now you are furious he is denying your 8-month-old son, Matthew. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Peugeot, you say you've never taken Ms. Anthony seriously, and she herself confessed to sleeping with other men during the time of conception. You believe the only reason Ms. Anthony is pinning her child on you is because you married someone else. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Anthony, what has Mr. Peugeot done for your child?
Not a damn thing, Your Honor. Nothing. Not a diapers, not wipes, not formula.
That's
not
only
anything.
because she told me that the child wasn't
I'm getting to
mine.
that. I did tell him that the child was not his, but, Your Honor, he was not in a very good place in his life. He was partying, and I was partying too, but once I found out I was pregnant, I put all those things aside and did what I had to.
And so, wait, did you tell him he was the father at first, or that he wasn't?
Yes, he was there when I took the pregnancy test.
But
Your
she
Honor.
told me that I wasn't the father.
Later on, I
Told
did
me
tell her he
that
wasn't the father.
her ex-boyfriend was the father, that she was pregnant before she met me.
And now you say he's denying the baby, but you admit to telling him he wasn't the father.
Yes, ma'am, I did, and I understand that was me being in the wrong. That was 100%. Most of this is my fault.
Take me back. I want to understand the nature of this relationship. Were you all dating? Were you committed? Boyfriend and girlfriend?
Well, I was sitting at the bus stop, and he walked up to me and asked me about one of my tattoos, and we just clicked from there. We were amazing when we were together. We didn't fight very much. We never argued. And then I went away for a little while, and it just got...
We had mainly a party relationship, to be honest with you. Like, that's what our relationship consisted of. No, we didn't argue and all that, but neither one of us were ready to be in a relationship nor have a child.
But it was a sexual relationship.
Yes, it was.
Were you using protection?
No, Your Honor, we were not. And he was there, so that's why I'm mainly upset. You were there for the 25 minutes of pleasure. Well, it's been 9 months. It's been 9 months, and I bought every diaper. I bought every
Well, if I was
formula.
told
I've
that...
done it all. And I've tried... well, if you were told...
If I was told there was a possibility that it was mine in the beginning, I would have been around.
I've tried to contact him on multiple occasions. I have text messages right here.
I'd like to see that.
I'd attempted to... And that's from his spouse. That's not from him, because he blocks me and doesn't allow me to talk.
Okay, so now you all were in this relationship. I'll get to that in a moment. You all were in this relationship, and it basically was not committed.
No.
And you were having sex without protection.
Yes, ma'am.
At some point, you figure out you're pregnant. You take a test, and he's with you.
Yes, ma'am.
But when you took the test and it came back positive, you immediately told him you're not the father?
Oh, no, not immediately.
All right, tell me what happened then.
Well, we went to bed that night, and I laid there all night and was like, I can't do this. My son deserves better, or my child, at the point I didn't know it was a boy, but my child deserves better than this. I don't know what to do.
After she took the test, she looked me dead in my face and was like, it's not yours.
That is a lie, and you know it. Don't be lying up in this courtroom.
I ain't got no reason to lie.
No. Let me finish. I laid down and I thought about it, and I realized that this man ain't gonna do nothing but party. This man ain't gonna take care of me or my child. He ain't gonna do nothing for me. So I decided what I thought was a good decision for my child. It was not the correct decision, and I understand that now. I was young. I didn't understand. I was scared.
Whenever she told me
I thought I was doing the best thing for that beautiful baby right there.
And so once you felt like he was not going to stand up for the child and take care of the child, you decided to tell him he's not even the father.
Yes.
And so were you having sex with Ms. Anthony during the window of conception, Mr. Peugeot?
I don't know what the window of conception was, so honestly, I don't have an answer for that, Your Honor.
Okay, that's fair.
Yes, he was. I have pictures with dates on them right
I'd
here.
like to see that, please. Jerome, will you hand me her evidence?
And that was actually April. It was the first week of April was my conception time. That was April 4th.
All right.
In that picture.
First picture, you two look happy together.
We were.
Cute couple, April 4th, 2015. Is that the window of conception?
Yes, ma'am. That's actually the day, the highest, when they give you the week window.
Another photo of you two together, April 21st, 2015. Still in the month of April. And yet another one, April 8th, 2015.
And all this is after she told me that she was pregnant with another man's child, and I wasn't the father. I was trying to stay around.
No, those were before, honey. Don't you sit there and lie. That April 8th and April 4th were before. That middle one was after.
Because I met you in late March. No, actually late February, and you supposedly got pregnant early March.
No, I did not supposedly get pregnant early March. My due date was December 18th. You need to learn some math, baby. We're going to take you back to high school.
All right.
How did this relationship end, Miss Anthony?
He cheated on me with his spouse now. That is how that happened.
Actually,
and he begged
I
me
cheated
to stay
on my spouse with you.
And now you're married, Mr. Pouchot.
Yes, ma'am.
Happily.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, never mind. I don't have those text messages. Where you were going to get a divorce 2 weeks ago.
Mr. Pouchot, you have brought a witness. Sir, please state your name for the court.
Michael Pouchot.
Mr. Pouchot, you are what relation to Mr. Pouchot?
He's my husband. Please do not paint my husband to be a monster.
I am not making your husband to be a monster, baby.
We experienced our first
witness.
Yes,
and I would like to have Jerome escort the witness into the courtroom. I'd like to hear from them. Thank you, Jerome.
You're welcome.
Look at that baby. How you going to deny him? He looks, look at his nose.
I only deny him.
Look at his eyes.
It wasn't mine.
I know, and I'm sorry for that. That was me. But look at him. How you can tell him that he don't look like you? Look at his smile.
Other side.
If he's mine, I'm going to take care of him.
Thank you for joining us, sir. Please state your name for the court.
Michael Pouchot.
Mr. Pouchot, you are what relation to Mr. Pouchot?
He's my husband.
He is your husband?
Yes, ma'am. I have proof of that.
Please present it to the court. All right, this is in fact your marriage certificate?
Yes,
certificate
ma'am.
of
Yes, Your
marriage?
Honor.
And so you all are married?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to know what you know about this situation.
Honestly, Your Honor, I wasn't there, obviously, when they did what they did. But I was told from Miss Anthony herself, my husband had gone away for a couple months, and I was holding down things at home. I was holding him down where he was. And I needed a little bit of help because I ran short. I called Miss Anthony. She met me down, in fact, at the very same place that they met, at the bus terminal. Got a little couple dollars off of her, whatever I needed to get from my husband. At the time, he wasn't my husband. That is the point where Miss Anthony told me to my face, the baby is not Harold's.
That is true. I did say that.
You have nothing to worry about. I am not going to pursue this. This baby belongs to my ex-boyfriend.
And you say that?
Period.
You say that is true?
That is true. I did say that. You have to understand where I was coming from as a mother. You have to, and it was wrong of me. The decision I made was not right in any way, shape, or form. I understand that. But at that point in time, I thought that I was doing what was best for my child. I thought that I was making the best decision because he wasn't ready to be a parent.
Actually, my husband can attest to this, that all I want to be is a parent. Like, I've helped raise my nieces and my nephews, and I've been sober for 16 months now.
That's good. I'm proud of you for that. That is really good.
Great. He wasn't present for the birth.
No, he was not, and I feel wrong. I stripped him of that, and that was wrong.
The man that was present for the birth signed the birth certificate.
Yes, ma'am.
He is who I was told was the father.
You have also declared to other people of your sexual trysts to include a three-way right after your relationship with my husband.
Yep,
James.
You're right. Yeah, that did happen.
In the case of Anthony versus Pouchot, it has been determined by this court. I was born. Were you telling him he was the father?
I told him he wasn't. He cheated on me with his spouse now. That is how that happened.
He has been clean for close to 16 months, no thanks to your relationship with him.
I know that was wrong with me. We partied together, and I messed up his sobriety, and that was wrong with me.
So please do not paint my husband to be a monster.
I am not making your husband to be a monster, baby. I'm not.
What we're trying to figure out is he a father?
Yes. See,
That's what I want to know.
That's what we want to know.
Well, let's find out.
All right. When Matthew was born, Miss Anthony, at that time, I'm so confused. You've told him he wasn't. At the time the child was born, were you telling him he was the father?
I told him he wasn't. He wasn't.
So he wasn't present for the birth?
No, he was not, and I feel wrong. I stripped him of that, and that was wrong.
The man that was present for the birth signed the birth certificate.
Yes, ma'am.
He's who I was told was the father.
And
so there was another man at the hospital?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he think Matthew was his child?
No, ma'am. He knew the whole time that he was not the father.
That's not what he was posting on Facebook.
Yes, because we decided to not go public with it. We decided to keep it between us and
Isn't
the
Facebook
family.
Public?
Yes,
I mean, we decided to not let everyone know that he wasn't the father because we were trying to keep. We were trying to be a family. Didn't work out because for whatever reason, and I felt guilty, and I'm trying to do the right thing by my son and.
Didn't want to quit partying, that's why.
I'm done partying.
honestly, if you take a look at everything, the messages you've sent to Harold, the phone calls, everything that you've stated, the baby wasn't his. The baby, and you tell me the baby wasn't his. You have this smiling, happy image of you and this other man holding this child on Facebook.
You are right. I'm not arguing with you about that.
All right. So, Ms. Anthony, you submitted some messages to the court.
Yes,
I'd like to review. That would be Mr. Pouchot.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yo, he asked you nicely, your kid ain't his. If you message us again threatening to take him for child support because you can't have your way, I will contact a lawyer. Take your stupid blank on somewhere. Next message. Stop messaging my husband. I'm 35 years old, college educated, and can make your life hell. Don't make me be this way. I'm not a monster, but keep messing with my man, and I have no choice but to show you a side of me that I don't like to pull out.
I will say this was
All right.
point.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor, I did write those messages, but they were in response to 5 messages in a row unanswered from my husband. She messaged my husband first on Facebook. Those messages were forwarded to me, and he asked me to ask her to stop. And I asked her several times nicely, please stop messaging him. And instead of stopping messaging him, she would message him and say, why do you got to get your husband involved?
Well, I'm
So
just saying
that's when I lashed out.
If it's between us, this is our child, possibly our child. Then it's between us. You weren't there with a flashlight, so therefore.
But now, wait a minute. Ms. Anthony, you said before there were no other choices, and now you say if this is possibly our child.
Oh, no, there's no other choice. I'm saying possibly. That's what they're saying is possibly that he's not his. If you look at my son, look at him.
I'll give you, there are some similarities, but you cannot take away from the fact that you have openly declared to people that he may not be Harold's child. You have also declared to other people of your sexual trysts before Harold and after, to include a 3-way right after your relationship with my husband.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, that did happen.
Boom.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to lie. That did happen, but that happened before and not after. That happened before and not after.
Then she came up to be pregnant and told me that it might be that gentleman.
How do you forget a threesome?
Your Honor, that was a very, very bad time in my life. I partied very hard at that point in time until I found out I was pregnant.
And that child right there is another part of the reason I got sober as well, though.
And I thank you for that.
I make $800 every week. I wash dishes, and I just been waiting to figure it out.
And so what are you hoping for?
The best for him. If he's not mine, I hope he does figure out who his father is. If he is mine, he's going to have the best of everything.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you.
Are you hoping that you are Matthew's biological father? I see this makes you very emotional. It means a lot to you?
It does.
Tell the court why.
I was raised in foster care. I'm not a dirtbag, and I don't want him to see me as one if he is my child. I've been in over 40 different foster homes. I've been in and out of the system. I don't want that for him. He doesn't deserve that. He didn't ask to be brought into this world. If he's mine, we consummated, we made him. It's our job to give him everything he needs and take care of him.
Very well said. Ms. Anthony? You maintain that you believe Mr. Pouchot is your child's biological father?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, let's see what the DNA has to say. Jerome, the envelope, please.
Hold my hand.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Anthony versus Pouchot, when it comes to 8-month-old Matthew, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Pouchot, you
never cheated on him.
You just cheat on other people with him.
Young and dumb.
When were you intimate with the other man?
April the 26th.
That's just 2 days before you said you slept with Mr. McCarroll. You gotta stop this.
You gotta witness this.
You were exclusive?
No, ma'am. She was married at the time.
Lauren Lake's paternity court. Be a witness.
Testing for paternity court provided by DNA Diagnostics Center. Visit mydnatest.com.
In Miss Anthony.
He cheated on me with his spouse now. That is how that happened.
Told me to my face, the baby is not Harold's.
Mr. Pouchot, you are the father. That's the first time I've seen you smile today, Mr. Pouchot.
This is all he really ever wanted, is to have a child of his own, and specifically a son. So on his end and on my end, like, basically makes the child my stepchild.
It does.
It does.
I work.
So that ends up
I
gonna
make
be-
decent money, and I can't give him a child.
Mr. Pouchot, have you ever seen your little boy?
I've not even met him yet.
Have you ever?
I haven't got to hold him or anything.
He has.
You
Like,
haven't?
Like, this is probably the best day of my life right now, to be honest.
Oh, well, look, let this court make it even better. Ms. Anthony, would you mind if Matthew meets his daddy in my chambers?
I have no problem with that. I would actually enjoy that very much.
Beautiful. Well, family, I will meet you all there. Court is adjourned. Comes Matthew.
Good day.
Can you sit down and hold?
Secure's good.
What's up, baby? What's up, my little man? Huh? What's up, cute? What's up? What's he gonna call you?
I don't know what he's going to call me. Now that I'm holding you, there's no doubt you're his.
Hey, where's
Go
that
ahead.
to
See
you?
these people?
Oh, he's there today.
He said, who's this big man that looked like me? This was beautiful. Let's just continue down this road, family, okay? This is awesome. I wish you all the very best of luck. He is precious.
Closed captioning provided by
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, Ron.
This is a case of Brown v. Brown.
Thank you, sir. Good day, everyone. Good day. Ms. Jackson, you've dragged your ex-boyfriend to court to prove he fathered your 26-year-old daughter, Tanika.
Yes, Your Honor.
Him and his wife.
That's a lie, Your
Yes,
Honor.
Your Honor.
1 week ago, you reopened your child support case in which you state Mr. Brown owes you $20,624.08.
That's
Yes,
a lie.
Your Honor.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, you and your wife claim you can't be the father because you were on the road for 3 months during the time of conception.
That's true, Your Honor.
You've basically taken care of your daughter alone.
That
Yes,
is
Your
not
Honor.
true,
Miss
Your
Jackson.
Honor.
Yes.
That is not
My
true.
daughter and my son.
Ms.
I've
Brown,
been taken care of.
your entire life you were told that Mr. Brown was your biological father?
Yes, Your Honor, I was. Well, by Mr. and Mrs. Brown, they told me different stories that he might not be my father, but my mother always told me that.
She don't
And
know
so
who
why,
that
after
is.
all these years, why do you reopen the child support case?
Because my husband don't want her.
It's still going on.
She's still
For 26 years, it's still been going on. These people been denying my daughter for 26 years.
She don't know who her daddy is.
26 years they've been denying my...
Ladies, give me a minute so I can process this. I want to understand how this all started.
I met him at the club, Your Honor.
The club?
I met him at the club, and we started talking, we started dancing. He told me he'll be back. And when he left with his wife, Miss Brown. I asked him who she was. He told me if she was just a friend. So he came back to the club.
That night?
That night. We danced, we partied, and then we went to the apartment.
Is that an apartment?
No, mine. No, that's a lie. That's
it was
a lie.
An apartment, Your Honor.
It wasn't my apartment.
It was their apartment. We was in the back of the room. She came in the door. She said, come on out, let me talk to you. She left, and then later on, we were still in the apartment. I didn't know that he was dating her because he told me that they had broke up.
So you're at the apartment with him,
yes,
having sex, unprotected.
Yes.
You say Miss Brown walks in.
Yes.
And you remember it being Miss Brown?
Yes.
Did you ask him why was she coming over here then while I'm at your apartment?
That was my apartment, y'all.
No, I didn't.
So, Miss Brown, what happened?
Me and the wife was having problems. It was much later when I caught her in the house with him. The first time I caught them together was at the club. I couldn't find him anywhere. So I walked around the parking lot looking. He wasn't out there. He wasn't in the club. I said, well, there was one place he could be because his car was still outside. So I knocked and knocked on the door, the bathroom. So I knocked and knocked. I said, Dwight, I know you in there. I said, open this door. He cracked it a little bit. So when I pushed it open, she in there. Him in the bathroom. But I told her, I said, you can go.
So you find him in the club in the bathroom?
Yes, ma'am.
And you pop the door open?
Yes, sir.
They're in there?
Yes, sir.
And what happens during this confrontation?
Okay, I told her, I said, you can go. It ain't about you. I got him. So I jumped on him. I let her leave. She walked out. After that, this was some months later, when I got to my apartment, I unlocked the door with the key. So at that point, I had sliding walk-in closets. I heard my closet door slide open.
You could hear it?
Yes, ma'am. And I heard somebody grab the bed and went in the closet. I said, oh, no. When I got inside, I went right to the closet, opened the door. She stayed up there naked, had my man in my house. So even, he kept fooling around with her, like you say, going back and forth. So you
knew that he kept an affair going with her?
Yeah, off and on, yes. Oh, yeah.
So were you all married at this time?
Me and Mr. Brown have been together for about 3 or 4 years when he started messing with her.
I want to go back to the point where you realized you're pregnant.
We had moved. We moved to Albany, Georgia. Back and forth, he was telling me that he had to come to Jacksonville to take care of business, which wasn't no business. It was being with her.
Exactly right.
And then he came back one time. I told him that I had a miscarriage. He stated to me, Your Honor, said that don't worry about nothing. We would try to have another child. I told the next time, I told him that I was pregnant. I took the test. I told him I was pregnant. We went to the clinic. The doctor had stated to me and him that I was pregnant.
So you went together. Mr. Brown, do you remember going with her to the clinic?
No, Your Honor. I don't.
Do you remember being in a relationship with both of them at the same time, back and forth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You do. Were you sleeping with both of them without protection?
Yes, Your Honor.
So why do you deny that Tanika is your daughter if you know you've been with this woman over a span of time?
Well, Your Honor, I've seen too many things happen. Like one morning, I thought she was at work. Come find out, she was out with another man.
Well, was she supposed to be committed to you when you were committed to her?
Yes, we was kind of like staying together.
Oh, so at that point, you and Miss Jackson were living together?
Yeah, we were staying together.
Okay.
This is what I'm tired of going through. This is not about their relationship. I don't care nothing what they had going on. This is not about
he was in Jacksonville with me.
This is about me. This is about me finding the DNA test, not them.
Why do do you think she's avoiding the test?
Because she knows it's not his daughter.
I've been going through this triangle for 26 years now. I just want to know if he's my father.
When Tanika was born, another man was on the original birth certificate as her father, not my husband.
This is a document signed by Dwight Stanley Brown.
Yes.
Take this pen, and I want you to have Mr. Brown sign that sheet of paper. This story is so
dramatic, isn't it? With this girl, he was in Jacksonville with me. He told me he hadn't been home in 2 months, Your Honor.
Your Honor, he was with me back and forth.
Your Honor.
Okay, and so when he was away and with Ms. Brown, were you with anybody else?
No, I was in Albany, Georgia. I was staying
and
with
during that time, Your Honor, when
he'll come to Georgia on Friday, and he'll leave that Friday evening and go back to Jacksonville to her. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
When he came to stay at my house, he stayed with me about 2 weeks. He said after he left me, he didn't even go home for another month.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Wait a minute, so you don't think the timeline adds up?
She was supposed to have been born 3 months later than when she was born if he would have been there. He had been gone for 3 months, but instead she was born 3 months earlier. And every time, Your Honor, we asked her for a paternity test, she get mad.
Why do you think she's avoiding the test?
Because she knows it's not his daughter.
At the point you find out you're pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor.
You tell him.
Yes.
You guys go together.
Yes, Your Honor.
From that point on, was he acting like Tanika was his child?
Yes, Your
Was he
Honor.
excited about the child?
Yes, Your Honor. He named her Tanika Lachey Brown.
Was he at the hospital when she was born?
Yes.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
In the hospital, Your Honor.
He wasn't there when she was born.
He asked me where she was. The nurse brought her back in the room. He put the robe on her, and he fed her. Not only that, occasion when she was born, he's shoot pool. He came by the house and he dressed her up.
So bad.
He dressed her and carried her to the pool hall with her. He was happy with his daughter.
Did you take her around places with you, Mr. Brown?
Yes, I did.
She has your last name?
Yes, Your Honor.
That he didn't give her.
Yes.
So he said he did not sign her birth certificate.
So that's what I want to know.
No, he said I asked my husband over and over again, did you sign the birth certificate? When Tanika was born,
I didn't sign no
let me tell you something else that they didn't tell you, Your Honor. When Tanika was born, another man was on her original birth certificate as her father, not my husband. Miss Jackson was married at the time.
Wait a minute now, Miss Jackson. When did you get married in there?
She was married all the time.
I get married.
When she was messing with him.
Your Honor, I got married, but I got it. My husband got it alone because he went to Georgia and got married to another woman.
They put the other man's name on the birth certificate. Her husband's name was on her birth certificate.
When we was born together, he know because at that time we was seeing each other. We were seeing each other.
You were seeing Mr. Brown?
Yes.
You believe she's avoiding the DNA test because she's getting this money.
She know that Tanika's not my husband's daughter.
This is an acknowledgement of paternity.
That is not my husband's signature there.
If it's my signature, I wouldn't misspell my own name.
Her mama been lying to her, and she's sitting here and believing her.
Are you all right, Tanika? When the truth presents itself in all of its beautiful color, let's acknowledge it for everything it is.
I'll sign my birth certificate.
I'd like to see that. Ron, will you hand me the evidence, please?
Yeah.
This is a copy of
my birth certificate.
That's a birth certificate. That's a fake, Your Honor. That is a fraud. Her mama been lying to her, and she's sitting here and believing her.
No.
So wait, on this birth certificate, it does say Dwight Stanley Brown.
He named me and he spelled the name.
He was with me. Doing a tag that birth
certificate.
Now, I do not see a signature on this birth certificate.
Because he did not sign it. He did not sign it.
Is that why you're saying she kept avoiding the DNA test?
That's right, Your Honor. That's right. I want to go to the board, Your Honor, and show you something from I made.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, the first time, it was 1990. I paid money to have a test done for her. She didn't show up. Again, the summer of 90. She don't ever keep calling me. That's an insult about DNA testing. Every time we ask for something. Same thing in 1992. Okay, then we went to Miss Jackson again. Went up to the lab again to get a DNA testing. I paid my money, okay? My husband didn't pay child support. Your Honor, I did. I took care of her.
That's true.
This story is so
dramatic, isn't it?
And she
well,
said,
it's just.
And she never came to me.
This whole thing, Honor.
No, that was one word, but I wasn't going to use that word. But that one applies.
You know, ever since this one, the last one, y'all, in 2002, we with Jackson again. She told us to stop
Your Honor.
asking about a DNA test.
Your Honor.
All right. Your feeling is that you keep asking her for this DNA test over a span of 12 years,
and she's
avoiding it purposely.
Now she wanted a DNA test now. Okay? I was more than glad to come.
And you're saying he's paying child support for the child.
He have already paid $4,800.
And you don't believe he's the father?
No, ma'am. That's the money that he have paid for child support. That she said he was never on child support. He never did nothing for her.
You believe she's avoiding the DNA test because she's getting this money?
I figured that she did that because she know that Tanika's not my husband's daughter.
I'm the one that wanted the DNA test because I got tired of going through this for 26 years.
I can imagine, hon.
And I've been going through this triangle for 26 years now, and I'm very tired. I don't care about what they went through. I care less. I just want to know if he's my father.
Miss Jackson, why not get it over with so she doesn't have to be 26 years old standing here in tears today?
Your Honor, I have a piece of paper I would like to present.
I would like to see that. Ron, can you hand me the evidence, please? What is this, ma'am? This is a document signed by Dwight Stanley Brown.
Yes.
This is an acknowledgement of paternity.
That's not my husband's signature.
Signed the 24th day of September 1990.
He did write his name. That is not my husband's signature there.
Ron,
there go right there, the one on screen.
Hand this to Mr. and Ms. Brown and let them look at that signature.
From here. That is not my husband's signature.
Is that your signature, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. That's his signature.
Ron, take this pen, and I want you to have Mr. Brown sign that sheet of paper right above. I want to see your signature.
Now you can look on his driver's license, Your Honor, and tell what his signature is. He didn't sign that. That is not his signature on that. And I'm throwing some more documents, too, like she did that birth certificate.
Thank you. This is substantially similar to me.
If it's my signature, I wouldn't misspell my own name.
Where do you see it's misspelled?
Right up there where the L and the E is.
Remember, you're under oath. I want to know the truth. I'm looking at these two signatures, and they are very, very similar.
No, Your Honor, I didn't sign it.
Yes, you did. Honor, yes, you did sign that signature.
Do you remember executing a series of paperwork at the child support office?
It never did happen. Because when I went in that office, the lady met me, and she told me like this: we are for the mothers and not the fathers.
I was with him.
And then I left out the door.
No, you weren't.
She wanted child support, but she wasn't willing to give him a paternity test. But she was
Well, at this point, with an acknowledgement of paternity executed in 1990, she really didn't need one. When you acknowledge
my husband said he has never signed any documents.
Yes, he did.
And I believe my husband. But I know what kind of woman Miss Jackson is. And I will stick by my husband, and I believe what my husband said.
But Miss Brown, let me ask you this, because you keep saying this woman, this kind of woman, this kind of woman, this kind of woman. It's your husband's kind of woman. He's been with her all this time.
I understand that too. I understand that too.
It's the same lady. Same lady that's in your closet. Same lady that's behind the bathroom door.
Yeah.
It's the same lady. But that doesn't mean that Tanika is not your husband's biological child.
That's all I ever wanted to know, Your Honor. Well, that's his daughter.
That's why we're here.
Yes, ma'am.
Round the envelope, please.
Yes, ma'am.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Brown versus Brown, when it comes to 26-year-old Tanika Brown, it has been determined by this court if we set this scenario up where all the time she running after her daddy, then she gonna be running after the next man.
Gotta witness this.
You were exclusive?
No, ma'am. She was married at the time.
Lauren Lake's Paternity Court via witness.
Testing for paternity court provided by DNA Diagnostic Center. Visit mydnatest.com.
Those people have been denying my daughter for 26 years.
Every time, Your Honor, we ask her for a paternity test, she get mad.
Why do you think she's avoiding the test?
Because she knows it's not his daughter.
Mr. Brown, you are her father.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Mama ain't got the lie.
And you knew that. You knew that. Are you all right, Tanika?
Good.
No, he need to come over there and hug her. Mr. Brown, that's your daughter. That's your daughter.
Sorry. You forgive me.
I forgave you a long time ago, Dad.
When the truth presents itself in all of its beautiful color in the courtroom, let's acknowledge it for everything it is.
Yes, ma'am.
And let me tell you this. When I said you go across that aisle and hug your daughter, the first thing you did was look at your wife for permission. I didn't miss that.
Amen by that.
And I want to make sure we're clear if no one's let you know. You don't need permission to love your child.
Amen. That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
And if we set this scenario up where all the time she running after her daddy, then she gonna be running after the next man. Miss Brown, I'm happy that you got the answers you needed. And I hope you're glad you came.
Yes, ma'am.